What's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself today, Reds. Welcome to the channel. My name is Siraj, and I am so fucking grateful for those 3 points yesterday. Listen, the score ending up Liverpool 3, Burnley 1, and I don't exactly know how, but we managed to scrape that through at the end. Listen. I knew it was always going to be a very, very challenging part, kind of like following up from last week's real utter disappointment. And so, for me, most importantly, what I needed to see from the team today, firstly, is just the result, right? We know, you know, I know, at this point of the season, you know, how you play is not really that important. But I think there's still something to be said for how people perform during games. And so when I look at how Liverpool perform in games over the last, through the course of the season, we always seem to just take that first half just to get up to par in terms of what the speed is, how the team is playing, and that kind of stuff. Call it whatever you will. And I have seen on some occasions, especially last week at Arsenal, that they somehow had figured us out a little bit. Look, you know, when we were firing on all cylinders with everybody fit and firing, it was difficult for any team really to keep up with Liverpool. But of course, you know, now what I see in the last month or so, since everybody's gone off to AFCON, I've just noticed a sense of disjointedness, as in it's not the fault of Klopp or anything like that. It's just the injuries that we've got, but people just kind of like filling in roles, you know, McAllister filling in a role, Trent filling in a role, Nunes filling in a role, and so there hasn't really been any kind of like really togetherness in a sense, like, you know, this is how we're going to play every single week. But that being said, though, maybe that's the reason why we are where we are at this point in time. You know, that we are taking these Klopp. I can say this without fear of being corrected, but Klopp is taking huge chances every single week, and so far it's paid off. And I'm sure it's not like a risk that are just kind of reckless. I'm sure that he and Pep Lenders and the coaching staff all think about every single consequence of their decisions. But it does feel like Klopp has decided, you know what, this is my last season, so I'm going to go out with a bang. And though it does absolutely fuck all for my heart rate, it's worked. I can't sit here and say that Klopp's tactics doesn't work. I can't sit here and say to you guys that every single time our team goes behind and they go in at halftime and Klopp gives them the fucking hairdryer treatment, they don't come out and play a million times better. Would I like our team to play better during the first half? Absolutely. But you know what? This is not going to be that team. This season, what I've seen so far is it's not gonna be like that, people. So I've come to terms and I've made peace with it, right? That we are going to play in the second half. Well, I'd say that, you know, it depends on the team who we're playing for the most part, but I genuinely think that what we have been doing has it really just means us having to come back in the second half and really put in extra work, run twice as hard, jump twice as fast, run twice as fast. It just seems like we tend to make it a little bit harder for ourselves. But you know what? It wouldn't be Liverpool if we didn't make things harder than it needed to be. That being said, but back to this game, which kind of started off for me really. Burnley kind of like really dominating the first 20 minutes, the first salvo of the half, and I could see like shades of Arsenal in there, in the way that they pressed, in the way that they allowed us to have the ball in the Virgil van Dijk, Robbo, Curtis Jones kind of like area again on that left hand side. and later on through Kwanzaa, and where they focused a lot of their kind of through balls at Kwanzaa. And I'm gonna get to that fucking issue that I've been seeing quite a lot. That through ball through the middle of our defense, really cutting us open, dude. And it's just a case of who's covering that, but we'll get to that later. I just kind of a real worrying thing is what I saw about Arsenal last week and again this week at Burnley. Just letting us have the ball and then squeezing us through the back line and really forcing us to play really long passes, long balls, let me put it that way, out the back as a release. But, whereas Arsenal had the firepower last week to really punish us for those mistakes, Burnley let us off the hook. And let's be real. At 2-1, Burnley had two massive chances, massive chances to really put us in a corner, and really they should have made us pay. The first one, I don't know who it was, Rumble, I can't remember his name, but it's a pass through our middle to Gerard Kwanzaa, who hits it against a Burnley player, and the Burnley player gets the rebound and is running in one-on-one with Callagher, and fair play to Callagher, he makes a brilliant save. And then the follow-up, Burnley shit the bed and they cannot make the score 2-2. The same with the one-on-one with Fofana, and again it's through that middle, it's through Kwanzaa, and it's no fault through his own, because it's not Kwanzaa's fault that these balls are coming through him. It's because his fullbacks are so far up the pitch, leaving him woefully exposed. And that's been kind of like the issue that we had, but yeah, like I said, I saw that at Arsenal last week. I saw that yesterday again. So for me, I hope that is something that we can sort out before the Brentford game, because Brentford is going to be a little bit better up front. Let's be real. They've got much better strikers. And Mbuyo, and obviously Ivan Toney being back for them and banging in fucking goal after goal each week. So, that's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of imagination. But that being said, though, I hope we can try and fix those issues. But again, how do you fix those when, your team, and this is the thing where I kind of have to give Liverpool a little bit of a bye. Alisson was out with injury, with the illness. And so a lot of those kind of chances that Burnley got. I mean, that Burnley goal. Would Alisson have saved that? I don't think so, man. Like I hear my friends telling me like, Callagher has been really poor and he hasn't really been he's been suspect. And yeah, I can kind of like see that, but give the guy a break. He's not in the team all that well. And as a goalkeeper, your confidence comes from playing, and so I don't necessarily think that Alisson would have saved that goal. It was a beautiful goal. Like, you just gotta sit back and say, hey, look, who was there to kind of block that person? I don't know, but the thing is that it was a great goal by Burnley, and you know what? Fair value, fair play to them. They deserved at that point to be 1-0. As we go into the half, there's absolutely no space for us. Nothing is going on, but it was a lovely goal by Diogo Jota. Let's quickly go back to our goals. Fuck Burnley. Again, a guy who's maybe 5'7", 5 foot something. Probably not 5'7", probably like 5'10" or something like that. Really rising up and scoring. But we know what Jota is about. We know that he gets up in the air and he's got a very good head. So that was a really, really great goal by him. So we're going into halftime, 1-0. And I thought, okay, well, then that's fine, right? I know we tend to have a better second half. But that first half was absolutely abject. And again, you can literally just play the same videos, the same first half reviews that I have, and cut, copy, and paste and insert it into this one, because there was absolutely no difference, believe me. So we're going into the second half, and again, nothing. Absolutely fucking bupkis, goose eggs, zero donuts, polos, fuck all in that second half the way we started. Too many mistakes. Too many wrong decisions. When we should be playing fast, we slow the ball down. When we slow the ball down, we play the ball fast. And I think we were very guilty of that in the first half, where we were trying to play too fast out of things. We were trying to be too, instead of kind of like calming down a little bit. And in the second half, we were too slow. So Klopp then makes the changes, and he brings on Elliot, and the rest is history, because Elliot absolutely fucking bossed that game. Really gave us that initiative back again. We also saw that the midfielders started to be a little bit hanging more on the wide, really creating that space. And I saw Curtis Jones do that, and I saw Harvey Elliott do that, and all of a sudden, the pitch became a lot bigger for Burnley, and we were able to get a lot more joy going into the game. Like I mentioned before, in that second half, those two gilt-edged charges from Burnley, and had they scored one of those goals, I think we probably would have come back and scored another goal, and probably have been a tense end to the game, but we would have gotten over the field. I just think we just have too much up front. And that was really emphasized by the goal, by the impact that Elliot had, creating the goal for Diaz and for Nunes. And Nunes' goal was a thing of beauty, beautiful, absolute goal, almost like hit it from the back of his head, but top bins fucking in the corner, no chance, absolutely no chance for the Burnley goalkeeper to make it 3. And I think at that point the game was pretty much settled. But players who really impressed me, like I said, was Elliot, Curtis Jones as well. Didn't have a great first half of the first half, but again he grew in the game, and he started to play the ball a little bit faster. In the first half, he tended to hold on to the ball a little bit, try to complicate things. But as the second half went about, he started to play the way I know Curtis Jones can play this season, and that is someone who's just connects the game and gets the the game going. I could say the same thing for Endo as well. Probably needed after having played in the week. Probably needed it a minute, just to get used to Premier League styles again. But he was fine at it again. But you could look at it as like Burnley let us off the hook, but fuck that shit. We got the results, and that's all that matters. 30 games undefeated at Anfield. Let's go, baby. Let's go. We got Brentford next. And anyway, it's one last thing. Just something else I forgot about what happened yesterday was that all 3 of our goals were headers. How beautiful and amazing was that? Just a little fun fact. But you know what? It's 30 games undefeated at Anfield. Not that any of that matters. You're not Arsenal Football Club. They measure success in how many times they've been undefeated. Let me just do this one over here. But we don't. Next game is going to be an absolute fucking banger of a game. And it's an early kickoff, so it's one of our favorite times to play. But we didn't have that problem this season, and I don't foresee that being the case. But like I said, Brentford is going to be a completely different animal. Thomas Frank, completely different animal to Burnley. I certainly wish Burnley all the best. I think they play great football, and I would like to see them one more season in the Premier League. Who should go down? Absolutely Everton. Fucking waste of time, man. Okay, fair play. They're in the shit. But you know what? Anyway, it's not about fucking them. But that being said, though, we go again. It's another game. All that matters at this point in time for us, Reds, is results. So next week, let's go. Anyways, Reds, thanks for watching. Do us a favor. Hit the like button. It really helps the channel out. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Dude, we got like over 200 people subscribing. It's fucking mental. And would be amazing if you would hit the subscribe button. I know a lot of you are watching and don't subscribe, but you know what? Whatever, that doesn't matter. That being said, though, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. You enjoyed yesterday's game. I certainly did. And I'll see you at the next one. Take care.